What's going on, guys? My name is Triforce Addiction. Welcome back to another Cod Mobile video. So today I want to discuss the future of this game because I know this subject has come out a lot this past week, and I haven't really been able to give my 2 cents in on what is actually going on because there's a lot of people worried about the fate of Cod Mobile in the coming years, probably within this year or, later on in 2024 or even 2025. Because of course Warzone Mobile is going to be making its way onto, mobile tablets, mobile phones, and so on. So we did hear news last week. I think during one of the Microsoft acquisition meetings, or I guess one of the hearings, they did mention that they were going to phase out Call of Duty Mobile once Warzone Mobile was out, or at least, maybe later on down the line, or just progressively so. In one way, shape, or form, COD Mobile is going to be phased out. And yeah, a lot of people are really up in arms about it because, this game has been around for such a long time. It's still being an enjoyable experience for all the players that have been playing this since day one. So my personal take is it's very complicated, but at the same time, it might not be an opinion that you guys may like. To tell you the truth, guys, I'm kind of like 50-50 on this because, I have my opinions on this game as well, but I also have like opinions about the future because, keep in mind, not every mobile game is going to be out there forever. Well, okay, maybe that's not the case because we do have, Clash of Clans is still a thing. We still have Temple Run 2 being updated till this day. We also have games such as, let's say Simpsons Tapped Out, all those other games have been around for years at this point. But it's different when it comes to Call of Duty Mobile because, they don't, I don't know, like they always like to have different increments of certain games. Kind of like how Angry Birds did back in the day where they had like Angry Birds 1, Angry Birds 2, Angry Birds Space, and so on. So Activision's more of a it's there to stay for a bit, but then it just goes away because there's always something new that happens. That's kind of how they are. For me, I've always known at some point that COD Mobile would die, and I kind of figured that once Warzone Mobile came out and it started being played a little bit more, maybe COD Mobile will be phased out naturally. And it seems like they're kind of already confirming this, but there's just so many different answers that I've been hearing that it's not going to go anywhere, and some are saying yeah, it's getting shut down for good. But then you hear Ferg saying on Twitter that, oh, you guys are fine, don't worry, nothing's going to happen to COD Mobile. So it's kind of like a messed up thing, and we don't really know the answer for sure, unless you're Ferg apparently. And I understand the frustration. A lot of people have spent so much money in this game, and including myself. And we would hate for something like that just to go away without any sort of compensation, or at least keeping the game online without updating. That would have been fine. But as of right now, we don't have a clear answer for that. But I could give you guys kind of like a prediction of what could happen. I know they said that they might keep the game active in the Chinese version, or at least that version is going to be the only one that's active. But at the same time, it just wouldn't make any sense from a business standpoint because, based on what I've seen in the Chinese COD Mobile, dude, they literally you get a legendary skin just for existing in that version. They have constant giveaways for free legendaries all the fucking time. So if they're doing that every I don't know, every week or so, how are they really gonna make money? If they just hand everything for free. Unless they do make money in that game, I'm not really that sure, but from what I've seen, I constantly hear get log in for 5 days to get the ASM 10 Abyssal Agent, or log in on this day to get the ASM 10 Bunker Buster. It's and these are permanent skins, by the way. So it's when you're handing out all these legendary skins at once, is that really a good business model? And given that COD Mobile is making the most money from all the current Call of Duty games right now, and keep in mind, it makes sense because they're selling draws every week, sometimes even 2 per week. While over there, Modern Warfare 2, they'll have a few bundles here and there, but it'll be nowhere near the price of what we have here. So yeah, obviously COD Mobile is going to be making a lot more money than Modern Warfare 2 or just the games before that. So cutting ties with Timmy Studios and Tencent, all that stuff, that's going to be a huge detriment to both Activision as well as Tencent and Timmy, or whoever makes this game. I don't know. But Yeah, like again, like in the Chinese version, if that's the only one that's going to be on, like dude, you're constantly giving them like legendaries for existing. So again, it's not a good idea just to keep that one around. You're not making that much. Of course, this is just based on what I've seen. Like I've constantly seen giveaways on the Chinese version. It's crazy, and I'm not gonna say that they don't make money because I don't know. I really don't fucking know. But it just makes me wonder, like, how are they gonna survive if Garena and Global are not there to make the money for them? So taking COD Mobile out completely would probably be a stupid idea from a business standpoint. But then again, it's Microsoft. They make billions of dollars probably per day. They like they have a pretty big amount of revenue that they make like yearly. So taking a tiny loss like that, well, probably tiny in their eyes, probably won't be such a huge issue considering the fact that they're also expanding like Call of Duty to the Nintendo consoles, which is a completely separate video, by the way. But yeah, it's like for me, again, like I understand if they do take it off, like if they do remove it from the App Store or they just stop supporting it. But at the same time, yeah, like I understand that people like kept their skins and they still want to be playing this game. But the way I see it is that the reason I guess that I wouldn't really mind having the game removed is just the fact that it's already like 4 years old at this point, or it's gonna be 4 years old. So I think it's time that we move on to something different, something new. We kind of been playing on the same engine for 4 years, and they really haven't like changed much, at least when it comes to the core gameplay. And the maps, we've been playing on these maps for such a long time. I think it's actually time that we just move on. And honestly, like they're not like all the updates that COD Mobile has been adding, as cool as they are, like they're only good for the moment. That's probably one of the bigger complaints. I mean, everyone's already tired of ranked, and I've played it. Trust me, this match wasn't fucking good. We lost, I think. But yeah, I mean, ranked has kind of gone still for a lot of players. I mean, even when I got in, like when I got into legendary, they're saying like, "Oh, you're better than like 94% of the players." Mean that what, like 6% of players are only in legendary or some shit? Like, is I thought ranked was going to be a lot more populated than that. However, the more I played it, I started to understand why people were constantly saying on Twitter, "Oh, I'm gonna stop playing this game," or there are times where there will be updates and people will say like, "Oh, I'm gonna start playing this game again," and then they just go right back to not playing it again, or just saying that on Twitter. It's kind of like that high school kid that like whenever he goes through a breakup, he goes on Facebook just crying, saying, "Oh, I don't want to live anymore," or some bullshit like that. Like like that's what I originally thought it was gonna be. But again, like the more I started playing, the more I started to understand their grievances, and I understand why people want Warzone Mobile to start. They're tired of this shit. And it just also boils down to just the meta in general. We've had the same meta for such a long time. Crick 6, Kilo, as well as the CBR. That's nothing has really changed in the past like year and a half. So yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have a completely new game. I mean, even then, like there is a reason why they're phasing it out. I mean, they're having multiplayer in Warzone as well, so people could earn their camos. They're just played for fun. So it's not like Warzone Mobile is just only going to be a battle royale exclusive game. It's also going to have 6v6 multiplayer with all these different modes such as hardpoint domination and so on. So I mean, it's not far-fetched to say that they'll probably have a ranked mode as well, but I don't really think it's going to be like as how ranked is here, like where people play every day despite being already legendary. And don't get me wrong, COD Mobile has done their best to improve the game in general. Sometimes, better late than never, but they've tried. And keep in mind, I mean, less people would be playing the game if we were still in the persistence meta and we had all this stuff. It would be chaos. But overall they have improved. So yeah, the other 50% of me is like saying that maybe it's a good idea that it stays around, because you never know what they can introduce within this year and a half. Maybe they might introduce something like groundbreaking that will change the game forever. And I'm still waiting on that dark matter camo for getting all diamond type of shit. But it hasn't happened yet. But it might not be long though. But hopefully not too long. So anyways, when it comes to the game being disconnected or just shut down, honestly, it could go either way. They could stay here but not get any updates, or it could just continue to be supported. I mean, it does make Activision a lot of money, But again, it's really up to Microsoft whether or not they actually want to once the acquisition goes through. And just in case it gets denied, I mean, I guess this game's just going to stay here. Which is something I hope that they actually don't do, because I would love to see how Call of Duty runs on the Switch. And keep in mind that like Microsoft acquisition has to go through in order for that agreement to actually happen. Unless Activision is going to do that on their own, which they probably wouldn't recommend. But yeah, I would just love to see what's going to happen with Call of Duty on the Switch. So yeah. Anyways, hope you guys have a wonderful day. Make sure you leave a like. Make sure to subscribe for some more Cod Mobile content. I'll see you guys next time.